You're supposed to slow down, not them. They was talking about the budget today. Well, we wanted to shrink the budget, but we're going to have to borrow more money to stimulate the economy so that that'll get us out of debt.
Suicide.
That's the way it is. When you get hooked on heroin, you're going to break into your mother's house, his house, and that's what to do. You had a good job. You don't have that anymore. You had a family, but you're going to lose your family. Right? You had friends. You got new friends. You got new associates. Your other friends who go to work every day, who go to church, this, that, and other, they're not going to hang around with you because they can't. So you have new associates. That's the process. And you ain't going to think about you going to go to treatment. Yeah, about 40 or 50 times. Have anybody been watching those opiate programs on TV? If you see, they really, I mean, even NPR and PBS have it on every afternoon. But you don't see no black folks on them. Just like they ain't never used no heroin. It's all white folks. And their statistics are outrageous. I never believed. Even if they lying 5 times over, they knocking over more white folks than they did Negroes. Good God Almighty.
They got the addiction hotline, where now all of a sudden drug abuse is no longer a crime.
Of course it's not
It's
a crime.
a disease.
It's a disease. It is a treatable disease. And they show you nice folks doping, not niggas like these niggas drinking. You gotta throw the key away. Right? That historical, that's avoiding the problem. When we talk about legalizing dope, they're gonna have to legalize it. They have to legalize all of it. There's no way that you can't. They started the problem, it's too late, you can't put it back in, the genie is out of the bottle. Historical addiction. Historical crack addiction. They like crack addicts. The Congress, you know, when you hit that crack, my partners tell me, they say, the first hit is the one. And after that hit, you chasing that hit because you can't get it back. You can't get it like that no more. So you're knocking over all stacks of it, trying to get that, and everything with a little white speck on it, they put that in the pipe. And when I saw them go to it, I said, man, when I saw freebasing, you know when that was? Good God Almighty, that was 40 years ago. I was doing the Richard Pryor at that time. And where did freebasing hit? Hit Northern California first. Hit LA second. And I come home, I saw that all my partners was broke. And I left, they were rich. I said, using heroins. There's a pipe. And I went for a visit to South America, to Colombia, and all the big boys that was rich had little pits in their face. I said, and they took me to the southern part of the city. I said, what are we doing over here? This is it. I said, what happened? Barcelona. That's what they call base. Barcelona. I said, good God Almighty. I said, y'all get it down here. See, you had a leaf, you know, cocoa leaves, then you get pasta, paste. Then you take paste to base, And then the next step is cocaine hydrochloride. Now, up in America, they take the hydrochloride, the flake cocaine, and then they take it back to base and smoke it. So that's very expensive. They was taking kilos of base, which is 1/8 the price, and they getting kilos, and they broke. I said, boy, and they was broke. They broke everybody. But anyway, historical crack, that's what they own. I mean, the budget, the military, right? And you notice they haven't won. When the last time they won something?
No.
With all of that stuff, they getting the stew whooped out of them. They just got 4 people got whooped in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Africa.
Niger.
They gonna stay there behind Africa. They go down there. Anyway, historical opium. Okay, suicide. That's the way America is. To tell the truth, we're on a rescue mission, not of everybody in the society.
So suicide means they give up.
Huh? Suicide is that they have a policy of killing themselves.
Right.
Saudi Arabia.
No hope.
Suicide.
Cut your oil prices.
Cut the oil prices
And that's what you depend
in
on.
half, and that's where they get their money. Buy all them weapons from the United States and fighting a war, killing the people in Yemen. And now they're in a position of where they have to borrow money. We talked about it was historical suicide when they started. Okay, now it's clear. They're falling apart. And the fool is starting stuff with all the relatives. So you got to kill already. It's only about 5,000
Sorry.
Saudi in the royal family, you know. And probably 4,500 is on one side, and he got a little crew that he on his side. The man's a fool. It's crazy. And now they over in Russia trying to be friendly with the Russians. Of course, the Russians, yeah, want to buy such and such and such a thing. They put everything they buy from the Russians. You know, the Russians back in the 80s, they were shooting up microwaves on the embassy in Russia, the U.S. embassy. They had microwaves. They was running the people crazy, like in Cuba now.
That's what I was going to say. That's what they do to the
But
Americans.
that
in
comes
Cuba.
back, that was way in the 1980s in Russia. Well, they let the Russians help build the U.S. embassy. So the Russians, in every block of cement, it was listening devices, vibrators, they had every, you know what I mean? It's like RT here, right?
Right.
If the Russians, you know why they change the people so much? You see RT, you get to liking somebody, next week they gone.
Right.
Because they know everybody's a police. Why they know that? If you have USA TV, we open a branch in Moscow, right? We need camera people, who the hell is gonna come? The Russian police department, right?
They have U.S. embassies in other people's country. What you think they're gonna bring over there?
Yeah. Hey man, so anyway, so we want to step into our own future. We don't like the ones that they're doing. So to wrap it all up, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this opportunity. We're living in a great time in history. But the last thing I was going to mention, people ask me about our allies and stuff like that. Our allies. Okay. Now, I told the brothers from the Islamic Republic that I was not going to, this is about 5 years ago, program in Denver, that I was taking over the defense of Islamic Republic in America. But forgiveness goes always. If you can forgive the Negro for being a Negro, if you can forgive the white man for being the white man, you can forgive Iranians for being Iranians. That's our view of all of them. We're not going to waste no whole lot of time on brothers. Here's all the thing we have to say. See, everybody is watching everything and they have their opinion. So everybody knows what Saudi Arabia's opinion is of me. And they send people by, maybe to tease you from time to time. See, we told you you should have stuck with us. Look what they're doing to you. Look what you did for them. That's what they say. What they're saying is true, but it's different. I didn't do nothing for Iranians. I worked for the revolution, for the cause of the revolution. The revolution was and is the highlight of these times. Okay, everything is going in Iran's direction, in the Middle East, around the world, in politics. For the last week, every newspaper article, everybody in the State Department been telling Don, don't break the 5, 6 plus 1, whatever. Yeah, don't do that. And Iran is smart. They said, well, if the U.S. break it, that's their business. We're going to continue to work with everybody else. Who's isolated? Iran or the U.S.?
They say though today that Iran feels that those sanctions, they say we're invulnerable to that stuff. The sanctions, they say we're invulnerable to it. You done did it so much.
Those sanctions are the best things ever happened to Iran. Because Iran is independent. Those sanctions are the best thing that ever happened to us. Can you imagine? You have to look at us like we don't have nobody we can call for all our friends done run off. All our enemies done run off. You know, if I was a lonely guy, do you know, I don't even get phone calls anymore. I don't get phone calls. I used to get phone calls. What about this? What about that? I don't get phone calls. Maybe every now and then from the kids or somebody trying to get sleep. But I don't get, so if I was a lonesome guy or felt that abandoned, you know, when people run off and leave you, they feel abandoned. Hey man, everything that we did for the revolution was fi sabilillah. And whatever, if anything was supposed to come from it, it came in spades. And it comes from our internal commitment that if we were alive during the time of some great mujaddid or something, we'd get with them. So we looked at Imam Khomeini and they said, Shias don't use the term mujaddid, only for one person. Ayatollah Shirazi, 1881, the tobacco boycott, they mentioned briefly as mujaddid, but they don't use that word. It's a Sunni terminology that Allah raised at the head of every century. One who will revive, renew, and restore the religion. You know what year the revolution was? It was the year 1400. At the head of every century. Now all the mujaddis in the past, they might come come 20 years before, 20 years after. I said, wait a minute, what year is it? 1979. So what year is it for Arabs? It's 1400. So I said, what did this man do? Well, how does he behave? Studied it. So that was our, if you wait at the train station for a certain type of person to get off the train, and they get off and you weigh him, measure him, and say, this is a suit, I got a suit for the guy that's supposed to, and you weigh the guy, measure the guy, and say, would you put this coat on? You put it on, fits perfect. Everybody else said, that ain't him, for somebody else. I said, no, that coat fit that brother. That's what our blessing was. Can you imagine? We know a little bit about history. Ain't nobody fought toe-to-toe with this American for no 40 years and still laughing about it. They run you crazy in 5 or 10 years. They make you despondent, want to quit. They show you what you're up against. None of that works. So we're honored. So now, if the brothers in the foreign ministry want to behave a certain way, that's their business. That's their business. But see, everybody is looking at them and then everybody, all of them and all of our friends back home and everywhere else, they remember traveling around the country in them old cars, sometime backing up on the hill so you could let that boy run off the hill, throw it in second gear. You know, if your car had a shift on the collar, it was a back a while. Throw it in second gear, and off you go. That's feasibility law, I know. Okay. That is something that it's an honor, you know, to have been associated with Imam Khomeini and all the revolutionaries. You know, when I go through the pictures, I got stacks of pictures with every Ayatollah that was bad, everyone, all of them, they were young, all of that. Okay. So that means we didn't pass through every stage of the historical process in the last 50 years. Everything that was in the news, whether it's the Black Revolution, whether it's drugs, whether it's Iran, whether it's Lebanon, all of that, whether it's South Africa, the liberation. It's an honor to be alive and have been touched by all of those things. And not be like them is the best part of it. Because they believe. Was you pointing at something?
No.
Oh, okay, I thought there was a masonry sign. So anyway, here's our dear believers. I haven't talked to him in over 20 years. Dr. Khalid Siddiqui told him what he thought about me as a person. I ain't never heard him. I had forgotten he had said that stuff till he said, and Imam Musa, everything that is good. I said, good God Almighty. As much as I used to make fun of Dr. But we were really close. But it's like somebody that really respects what you're doing, you're learning. See, I learned more than they did. Evidently, I learned more than they did. He didn't say nothing about them like that. Right? And all of a sudden, they're all mad, they're all jealous. You know what? They all have jobs and whatever this is. They all have jobs. All the big rich people and all of those people over there, I sat at this conference, I told them at this conference that the ANC ain't gonna do nothing. Because Mr. Mandela had said we're gonna build 5 million homes. I told him, you can't do it, you ain't gonna do it. Why? I've lived in Africa before. I know as much about Africa as them, and they're Africans because I've been all over and I've seen what every post-colonial thing was. The Negroes that was good and honorable out in the bush, the day you set them down in this chair, it's something like the chair's got some kind of electrocution or something, and it goes up your spine to your brain, and that's it. It was crazy. Right away. And everybody was in the bush. When I was in East Africa, I asked the brother, I said, why is the Mau-Maus out robbing? He said, because Jomo Kenyatta. I said, Jomo Kenyatta said, oh boy, they all Kikuyu. Well, he took over, he was the burning spear, but after 9 years in the British penitentiary, he kind of said, they said, look at his speech when he took over. That's cold-blooded. That's a custom. That's a history. That happens. So that's what we said in South Africa. I'll close with this. The brothers, the big rich brothers, in 2007, after 10 times of telling them, see, their belief is, you a nigger, you don't know what you're talking about. So we're sitting there in the kitchen, 2007, I'm saying, so the U.S. is in debt, and it's this and it's that. I said, it's going to crash, it has to. Well, is that personal debt or national debt? I said, it's both of them. I said, the people is in debt. Then if you took a house, they paid $100,000 for it. The house went up to $1 million. They borrowed $200,000 on it and bought a Benz, and they bought something else. So when that go down, that house gonna go. They all went down to, remember they were saying everybody either lost their property or they underwater. Everybody. So I telling them 2007, I said, no, this is what's gonna happen. He turned his nose up. He's the second out of the big rich guys. His brother is, they're close in age, but the brother is the main, he's second, they both equal, but he's so anyway, it's a big crew. They rich, they know. But everything I ever told them came out just like I told them. 2007, bam! They don't say, well, you were right, we should readjust. What do you think about this? They don't do that. They get mad, that nigga can't come here no more. We don't want to hear him, we don't want to see him. Therefore, the ANC, you know they're so stupid? I'll close with this. See, in there, they've always been pro-black, like, you know, they help black people. The black people cut half the, I told them in a lecture there, I said 25% of the people that surround y'all is black police, and Negroes is the police. And they doing all that stuff to make you mad and to make you stay away from stopping and helping black people. They kind of understood, but they didn't believe the number was that high. And I was saying 25%, just from the ones I was around. And I know how they was treating me and what they was telling me about them. You see what I mean? I wasn't just saying them guys look like the police. I would say this and another. This go on for years pretty soon. So man, y'all got some mean Africans working with you. So guess what they did? Instead of going big for the South Africans, if you go to these big joints now, they got a lot of Africans there, but they from Malawi. They're black and they're Muslim. That's good. But what are the South Africans doing? They're killing and burning immigrants from Nigeria, from Malawi.
Hmm.
They all black too. I said, you got to go for the South Africa. Get you a place out there in Soweto. We already got $1 million. I said, that's right. But you're out there, you got to get out there more. You want to help Africans? Boy, you're going to have to be big. Talk about loving Negroes in America, loving Africans, and you are Indian, you're going to have to outdo us. Last thing is this. If Iranians want to act the way they acted, everybody's looking at them, they're not looking at us. We did an honorable job above and beyond the call of duty for no surface gain. So if they want to have an attitude, if they want to do whatever they do, only thing we're going to do is try to protect the Islamic Republic here in America. And we're going to be in contact, as we are, with our people there who have stuck and helped build the country. We're just keeping an eye on the foreign ministry because the people who they're collecting in America and sending to Iran are 100% non-revolutionary. They don't even know what al-Faqih is. They're sending the most backwards, and they've been doing it. Negroes, white folks, they're trying to do anything they can to replace us, and it ain't working. So we're just going to try to keep our eye on them and keep our people. Keep your eye on anybody that the foreign ministry sends over there, because they are non-representative. And they will have you. They want the Islamic Republic to go through government agents. So they have all of them coming over there, posing. The people are so slow, they don't even know why they're going over there, the Negroes. They'll have a Black Lives Matter group go over, and I tell them, you got an Imam. At the same time, they talk about, I can't breathe. I say, you got your homeboy that can give you the whole story. You know where Dr. Khalid Siddiqui said, we are all versed in the subject of racism. But when this guy finished, he got us seeing stuff we ain't never even seen. And it ain't no hard work. Okay, that's not only with that, that's with all of that stuff. That's the gift. But some people, for some dumb reason, it could be racism. And that's the way most people are going to look at it. They're going to look at it like, wait a minute. All you Arab and no Pakistanis and everybody try to freeze Imam Musa out. What's the reason for that? And you got to remember, there's always a group of cadres that escape the radar. The white man is in every masjid in America. Been there. But all the Muslims don't come to the masjid, and all the revolutionary look at history, and they don't talk to nobody about their revolutionary. They may not even say they're Muslims. You may never even see them pray. You don't know where they are. Last thing, leaderless resistance. We're going to beat that, because the proper evolution should have focused leadership. So they say you can't do it, bull crap. That's what we're going to do. Thank you very much. As-Salamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.